Don't ask anything too difficult, will you? I've got a cold. My brain's fuzzed.
Well, I think we're live. So good afternoon. My name is Elise Hatton. I'm the Rockhampton Regional Council Smart Hub Business Manager, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to today's Hub Live. We have something a little bit different, but extremely exciting and special to share with you today. And I'm joined on this Hub Live by the absolute amazing Karen Lindsay. Hello, Karen. How are you?
Hi, good, thanks.
Oh, excellent. Now, Karen is joining us. And she has two brands. The first brand is Little White Goat's Cheese, and her second brand is Love Handles, but not the kind that we all hate. The actual kind that is extremely useful, and I think will be changing the way in which we use or we push shopping trolleys. So I'll let you tell us more about that in a moment. But essentially, what we want to do today is to give you guys insight into what can be achieved in a really short amount of time, because Karen started her business not too long ago. She was part of our Turbo Traction Lab. And I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but I will just allude to the fact that Karen has just won 2 incredible awards. And so what we're going to do today is share a little bit about that journey and also allow you to ask someone who's actually living that journey today some questions around coming up with ideas and making those ideas into actual revenue streams and creating business around those ideas. So let's get into it. Before I do, hey, Drew, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us. Karen Lindsay, tell us, when did you start Little White Goat's Cheese?
So it's probably 8 years I started making fresh goat feta, using the milk from my girls here on our farm. Was building slowly, it was quite nice. And then COVID hit and I lost 95 to 98% of my high-end restaurant market. And I'd had a thought in my head about freeze drying goat cheese, but you know, I knew someone who had the freeze dryer, so I thought, oh, I'll give it a go. And then I applied for Turbo Traction Lab and was unbelievably accepted. And and away we went from there. That was February, end of January, February.
Yeah, that was February, actually. Yes, start of February this year. Yeah.
So I was in the lab for the first day for 10 minutes and was secretly crying because I couldn't understand anything Jania was saying. Log into this, download this. Oh my God, I didn't know what to do. I was completely lost.
Oh, bless you. You were certainly thrown in the deep end. Hey, Faye. Hey, Rodney. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're here with the amazing Karen Lindsay, and she's going to talk to us about coming up with innovative ideas in your business and also how to launch new products. Okay, so your journey started 8 years ago when you were just making feta on farm with your goats, your beautiful girls, as you call them. And we have seen some of them on some of our Zoom sessions. Maybe you can share a photo later of your girls. And then, beginning of the year, you joined the Turbo Traction Lab and you came into the lab with the idea of freeze-dried goat's feta.
Yes.
Cheese,
yes.
Essentially.
Yes.
Perfect. And I do remember you saying it was a bit overwhelming in the first day. I remember Wayne, who sat next to you, is one of our other participants, saying he was asking you, what is what's a VA? I think it was the term. And then you said, I don't know, I can't even turn my computer on.
That was exactly right.
It was an overwhelming start. But then through that journey, so we're talking February to today, 6 months. What have you achieved in the last 6 months? Let's start with where we are today and then we'll work our way backwards.
So today I have a Singapore buyer waiting in the wings. He's got to organise, because of COVID, the flights have been completely disrupted, and they put the price of freight up as well. So he's in Singapore trying to work out logistics, but he is definitely on board for the freeze-dried and he wants the fresh. So, and 2 weeks ago, we had some Chinese buyers here on the farm showing them around. So fingers crossed.
So you're exporting, essentially.
Almost, yep.
Within 6 months, you're at the cusp of getting the logistics sorted and exporting. And
Yep.
you've also won 2 really exciting awards. Tell us about those.
Yes. So I was nominated to go into the Mumpreneur Awards, which is Australia-wide. One was for food and beverage, which was the freeze-dried feta, and the other one was for the big idea, which is the love handle. And apparently you don't, people have been going in it for years, and you don't just walk in and get gold, but I did. So I was really excited. A few champagnes into the night. Yeah, it was great. It was all on Zoom, of course, but it was fun.
Oh, congratulations. So I think you should share, if Courtney, if you can share with us some of those, maybe the news articles or some pictures of the awards that Karen won. So Mumpreneur Awards, both gold for the feta cheese, the freeze-dried feta, as well as love handles. Yes. And we'll talk in a moment about what love handles are. Okay, let's show some footage around what those awards looked like and what that meant to you.
Well, a Queensland woman has come up with a new approach to fighting germs. Karen Lindsay is behind the Love Handle, an invention she hopes will catch on across the country.
Recyclable, dishwasher safe, and with just one click, you'll never have to touch a trolley or basket again. The Love Handle is the brainchild of Sunshine Coast woman Karen Lindsay, someone who's no stranger to cooking up new products.
I've got another world first freeze-dried goat feta that I've just launched as well. And just why not?
The handles are being made in Brisbane. It's hoped they'll have potential during a global pandemic when reducing the spread of germs is crucial.
The handles will first be stocked at the 5 Whites IGA stores across the Sunshine Coast from the start of October, but Karen has big plans to roll them out Australia-wide.
It's a very innovative local product, which is, I'm really, really proud of.
We can use them on suitcases, luggage trolleys at airports, and I'm going to talk to hospitals about them using them on the beds and the medical trolleys.
Sophie Ryan, 9 News.
Yay! Congratulations, that is fantastic. So those are your love handles.
Yes.
If we could also share some of the photos of the actual awards that Karen won, please, Courtney, that would be amazing, because they are impressive looking awards. I have to say. So while we wait for the awards, while we wait for that share screen to happen, tell us, how did you come up with the idea for love handles?
Well, as I said in one of the interviews, I don't do a lot of grocery shopping because we're quite self-sufficient here, but when you have to go in and you see that horrible hand sanitizer, and Rosie White from the White's IGAs was telling me she put down the most expensive flooring in her new IGA, and the sanitizer actually bleached the colour out of this gorgeous laminated floor. So I know it's safe, but what's it doing to our skin long term? And then you see all those baby wipes, and people wipe it, and if they can't be bothered putting in the bin, they throw it in their trolley. So when you go to use the next trolley, you've got this disgusting, and it's landfill. So I'd sort of been thinking about it for a while. So I thought, oh, well, why not? Why not?
Oh, look, okay, awesome. These are the gold awards that you won. Look how beautiful they are. So you were nominated to enter with love handles. You thought, why wouldn't you try this idea? And you won that gold award. That is absolutely incredible. And so the love handles are available across the stores, 5 IGAs on the Sunshine Coast. Is that right?
It will be. We start manufacturing the first week of October. So we're taking pre-orders at the moment. And so part of the prizes, I actually got $1,000 worth of PR and public relations, a couple of those, 2 lots of those, and a fabulous photography session. So I'm hoping that'll sort of launch all that together.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Excellent. Hey, Reese, thank you so much for joining us today. We're here to share Karen's story and really to learn a little bit about what she's learned in business over the last year. Right. So tell us about the lessons that you've learned in the last year. If you were to give someone advice as to how to go from an idea to actually win an award and on the cusp of exporting internationally and of getting your goods in IGAs across the Queensland. How do people do that? How did you go about getting that done? While also farming and being a grandma and being a mum and doing everything else that you've done. How do you do that?
Perseverance is the first one, but believe in what you're doing. And it sounds corny, but if you believe in what you're doing, then you ooze that to other people. So you could come up with something ridiculous, but if you believe in it, just go out there and give it a go. And one thing I learned, I learned more than one, obviously. The best thing I learned in Turbo Traction Lab was to ask, just ask for something. So I have stalked people. I have on LinkedIn, I've rung people, I've emailed people, and I've asked for their time, or I've asked, I haven't got any grants, but I keep asking for a grant. For knowledge, for connections. And as Daniel said, they can say yes, no, or maybe later. Just ask. And ask till they're sick of you asking, they've got to talk to you.
Okay, so how has asking gotten you to where you are with Love Handles? Who did you ask? Talk us a little bit through the journey.
So I asked a lady I had heard of, Robin, who has her own business, connecting businesses. I talked to her about it. Well, she then knew someone who did plastic manufacturing. She knew someone who did design. She knew someone who did 3D printing. So from that one connection, I was connected to each of those different people that I needed. A couple of them were bum steers, but we then asked someone else, and we ended up getting the 3D handles printed through a university. You'll just get it. You'll just get someone who knows the answers that can help you, and they'll point you in the right direction.
Okay, so maybe if we were to summarize what you're saying, the number one lesson is start with the person that you think is most likely to be able to help. Ask them, explain what it is that you want to do, ask them whether they can help you, and then follow the trail and keep asking and keep asking and keep asking. And don't be afraid of getting a no, because you're at no at the moment. Like, you're at no now. It's not as if you can get a worse no than the no you're at.
And I've asked, I'm thinking of, I've been talking to McGrath Foundation, and they're very interested in taking them on. But then they also have a client who is Metcash. And Metcash can buy nationally for IGAs. So today I'll be emailing someone who can talk to Metcash and start that whole journey. So just get on LinkedIn, stalk people, look up marketing managers, look up whoever you can find, whatever you can think of, write them down and just get on the computer and start stalking and asking questions and introducing yourself.
Okay, so when you say the word stalking, what you mean is go on LinkedIn. I like the term, but I just want to clarify. So what we mean is you get on LinkedIn. Do you have LinkedIn Premier?
I do now.
Yeah. So you go get the paid version of LinkedIn.
Yep. And
then what you can do is you can actually research people that are along the lines of what you want to do, and then go and ask.
Yes.
So message people on LinkedIn, or how did you make those asks happen?
A lot of them, I just get onto their. So I looked up the marketing manager for the McGrath Foundation, and I introduced myself. I told her what I had, and that she, that it would be an asset to their blah blah blah, to their company. It's also people with immune systems that aren't quite as high as they should be after chemo would find them, of great use. Sort of try and hone in on what they do and work your questioning about that, asking about that side of their business. Yeah, so that one's may have paid off.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Hey, Paul. Hey, Nairi. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's really, really great to have you on this HubLive. It makes me excited when you join us. I'm here with the amazing Karen Lindsay. Karen is sharing with us that the number one thing that she learned in her business journey over the last 6 months, where she literally went from an idea to freeze-dry feta to now where she's on the cusp of exporting her freeze-dried feta internationally, and an idea for love handles. And Court, if you can share that picture for love handles so that we can show it's not the kind of love handles that you don't want, the kind of love handles that you do want. The idea for love handles, which is a handle for a trolley so that you don't have to touch the trolley handles and so forth. And how she now has that in store. And the number one lesson is to ask. Start with LinkedIn and do some research about who you think could help you, and then message them and structure your message in such a way where around how what you have can benefit them. So really link their goals to how you can help them achieve their goals. Awesome, awesome. And then of course, if you're nominated for a couple of awards like Karen was, absolutely enter and then win gold, which is what you did as well. Excellent. Okay, so with the love handles, you literally didn't even know how to have them manufactured, how to get them manufactured.
Not a clue.
You had this idea, had the concept in your mind, and then just talk us through a bit of the process. So did you have the designs made first, or did you start asking first? What happened?
So I had the idea first, and I was originally going to go with cardboard. But then you think about the cardboard, kids can still chew on the cardboard. They'd probably peel it to pieces while you're shopping, and then you've got all the litter around. So that was out. So then we decided on the recyclable plastic, and that's when I was talking to Robin, the lady who runs Busy Connecting, and she said, I know someone who does the moulding. So it shoots the plastic into the mould. And we had the designs drawn up by a graphic designer, who actually then wanted to send them to China to be drawn up, to be printed. And we said, no, we want it done in Australia. We want it done in Queensland. So that's when we found the university up in Toowoomba, and they did the design for us, about a quarter of the price that overseas were going to print them. So
what a victory. Can I just highlight that? What a victory. Manufacturing in Australia at an affordable price.
Yep.
In collaboration with the university.
Yep.
That is
so if you need any 3D printing, go ask the unis. They've got these facilities. It was like $140 for the two of them, and in China wanted $600 each handle to do a 3D print. I was like, no, and I didn't want it overseas anyway.
Yeah, that was just for the prototype.
Yeah. So an hour's drive, we got to go out for the day, had lunch, and went up to the uni at Toowoomba, and they were fabulous.
That's amazing. So talk to us now about the manufacturing. How is it that you're going to get these manufactured?
So before you get them manufactured, once we had the 3D print, then those files are sent to they're called product engineering. They're in Stafford. So he gets the files and he creates a stainless steel mould. Now the actual moulds are probably old language, 4 foot, 3 or 4 feet by 3 or 4 feet. Quite deep, probably 18 inches deep, and inside are the moulds. And then the plastic gets fitted into a machine, it gets fired, the plastic gets fired into the moulds, and probably every 15 to 20 seconds, one of the handles will drop. So this is all coming up in October, so I'm going to go down and video it and have a look. And we've chosen 5 colours. So it's all recyclable plastic. So when and if they don't last forever, I can't see why they wouldn't last for a long time, they're recyclable. And they go straight into the dishwasher, or you can do hot soapy water, whatever you like, but easily washed.
So you're looking at them on your table, aren't you? I can tell that you're looking down and they're lying to say, hold them up to the camera. Let's have a look. That's amazing. And so do they slide into each other, or they just have one static handle?
There's 2 pieces in this one.
Yeah.
And then the telescopic one.
Nice.
So you can use them,
make it longer or shorter.
Yep, and you can use them, the single ones, on your luggage when we get to travel again. So you can take your luggage off the travelator. You can, carry your luggage. You can wheel it. You can put it together and use it in the luggage trolleys at airports. Bunnings, the kiddie trolleys, they come apart so that it's smaller for the kiddie trolleys. So there's lots and lots of uses, and then put them back in your shopping bag. You can carry them. Men can carry them in their briefcases. We've got a black option for men if they like black, or hot pink. Yeah, so it's just tucks away out of the way in case you need it. And it'll be a little bit pliable, a bit like a Tupperware lid plastic, so that it'll have a little bit of ply in it.
Excellent. So the idea is that you have your handles and you put them in your shopping bag as you take your bags. You click them onto the trolley handles. You don't need to touch anything. You definitely don't need to touch the trolley handles like everyone does. And when you're done, you just click them off, put them back in your bag, and you can take them home and dishwash them if you need to.
Exactly.
Yeah. How excellent. They're recyclable. And what colours do they come in?
There's a hot pink,
Of course.
a yellow, bright yellow, a black, a teal, and a purple at the moment. But down the line, I'd like to find someone who can print onto the handles. So I think Courtney's putting up the colours here. They're a little bit brighter than that in real life.
Yeah.
I'd like kids ones so that someone could print the alphabet or counting or animals so that they've got something to look at while they're in the trolley. Aboriginal art. I've just got lots of ideas for what can be. I've just got to find someone who prints onto plastic, but there's lots of ideas. Yeah.
That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. Okay, so Daniel, thank you so much for joining us. Karen was just talking about you just before.
I was.
How on day one you were using all these terms like VA and log into this and log into that, and Karen was struggling to get her computer turned on, which was pretty funny, but not at the time, I'm sure, but it is.
I drank lots that night.
And Nairi, thank you for your question. So I have a question here for you, Karen. This is a great share. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Did you include a patent in your setup plans?
Yes. Yes, trademarked and patented.
So tell us about that process. Was that great, hey?
I should have been a lawyer. Yeah, he was fabulous. You just don't realise what's involved. So I changed because the first prototype was different to how it's finished. So this was trademarked and patented, but then we went to the ones with the hearts in it. So we had to do it all over again, which was more money. Getting the name right. It probably took 4 to 6 weeks before it was accepted because there's a backlog apparently at the moment. People must be coming up with lots of ideas. But now I've got to think about overseas. So I've got to think about which countries and how I want to go about that.
Right. So when you get a provisional patent, I'm just checking that I understand this correctly. The provisional patent covers international. So that's what you have now.
Yes.
And then you have 12 months to lodge your final patent, and that you lodge per country.
Well, he said it's 6 months to actually lodge for international.
Okay, 6 months.
Yes.
Sorry, I stand corrected. Not 12 months, 6 months.
Yes.
Then to lodge your international patent, but that is done by country, and you have to pay per country.
Yes.
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 And so that's why making this decision, you need to be very wise. Hey, Brenda, thank you for joining us. Hey, anyone, if you have any questions, like Nairi just asked a really great question about patenting. If you have any questions, please feel free to just drop them in the chat, and we'll be sure to try and answer them for you. Okay, so what are you thinking in terms of patent?
I'm thinking the US. I've been looking at all the trolley makers over there, and it's a very similar. They're very, very similar, although they've got probably 600 different sorts of trolleys, believe it or not. But the two-piece ones would fit 90% of them. So I'm thinking America. I'm thinking England. I don't want to go near China because, as they've said, no offence to China, but they'll change it and do it themselves, I've been told by the lawyers. Apparently a lot of European countries have their own trolleys, so they're probably their own personal trolleys, so they probably wouldn't use the handles. So perhaps New Zealand, I don't know. I've got to do a lot more investigating, I think, but I'd love to do the US.
Quickly. Yeah, US is a good place to start. That's a big market. Okay, so Daniel has a question. Wonder if you could make one that has the ability to have inserts where you can then sell the inserts instead of the complete new unit.
Inserts as in? I don't understand.
So Daniel, I'm just checking. When I read that question, what I'm imagining is an insert where you can sell advertising. Is that right?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we've discussed getting the, say, White's IGA could get their logo printed on it as well.
Yeah.
So they might order 1,000 with the White's IGA logo printed on it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. So let's go to how much they retail for, because the prototypes were a couple of $100 to get done.
Yep.
How much? But you don't have to pay a couple of $100 to get love handles.
No.
So how much do they retail for?
So the two-piece will be $9.95, and the telescopic will be $14.95.
Very nice. And you always have clean hands when you leave the supermarket. I think that's well worth it. Well worth it. And so are you selling those online, Karen? Are you just selling them through the IGA? How do people order love handles?
Well, on the Facebook page, Love Handle, you can pre-order now. And then as soon as they're available, we'll let you know, and you can pay for them and we'll post them to you. I'm trying really hard to get into some big companies, and I'm hoping if they can put a big pre-order in, then I can go to the bank, because we haven't finished paying off the molds. They're about $46,000 for the molds for the two. So that will help me finish paying that off.
So let's talk about that. Then every single business, there comes a point in time where you actually need to take a risk and make some kind of investment. Mm-hmm. There isn't a business that doesn't involve an upfront investment.
Yeah.
In fact, that's even true in life. Any education that you do, anything that you're working towards, always or most of the time needs like an upfront investment, or you pay for things in advance, so to speak. So how did you come to the decision that it was the right thing to do to spend $46,000 to get the molds made so that you can then distribute love handles all across Australia?
When I talked to my friend Robin, she thought it was a fabulous idea. When we spoke to the lawyer to start with, he was impressed. So you sort of get the idea that if the lawyer's jumping up and down on the seat, he's pretty excited. So you've got all his fees as well. I spoke to some mentors who thought it was a great idea. And I thought it was a great idea. And I've talked to my husband. No, my husband thought it was a great idea. So we've scrimped and saved to do this so far. We haven't been eligible for grants because we're not big enough. We don't employ. I mean, in future we will. We don't earn enough, but we'll show them. We'll do it.
Yeah, I'm super proud of you for that reason. It's a different thing when you have to invest your own money into your own idea. And I think it's often the case where grant money is very specific for a very specific type of business or industry or size, or have to have employees. I do think that what you're doing is absolutely fabulous. I think you are investing in your own self and in your own future. I absolutely love the fact that you found a way to get this done in Australia, and that you are working with universities, and that you're thinking big. So good on you. Good on you. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, so do you want to also give us a bit of an insight into the freeze-dried feta cheese? So does that retail, do you only sell to restaurants, or do you sell that to the public?
No, it's actually in some White's IGAs at the moment. That's the packaging.
That's beautiful.
At the moment.
Oh, look at that beautiful little goat. That's awesome.
So $19.95, and I'm also selling it online, so buy from the bush. And you know how we speak about our customer avatars, the people that I was going for haven't been the people who've been buying. I've had a lot of people on cattle stations out bush, like remote, buying this product because they don't have access to the fresh feta, and this has got 18 months shelf life, so it's perfect for out there. They just throw it in their pantry, and they're set. So I've been really surprised at who's buying it.
That's amazing. Okay, so very long shelf life. So it doesn't have to go in the fridge, or it goes in the fridge? Doesn't go. No,
it's just pantry safe, because 98% of the moisture's taken out of the cheese, so that it can stay on shelf in your pantry. That was a beautiful lunch.
And what does it taste like? Give us an idea of the taste.
It tastes just like the fresh creamy feta, except I think that the flavour's more intense.
Oh, wow.
it's if I eat it out of the packet, and I shouldn't, but it's really very creamy, even though it's dried. It's not like eating potato chips. It's still got that creamy texture when you're chewing it, and it's full of the vitamins and minerals are kept inside in that cheese. They're not removed at all, so it's really intense.
It's amazing. And your goats actually do look just like that little baby. Is that a baby goat? Or is
that is a baby goat, and in about a week we'll have about 20 mums kidding. So there'll be a population explosion here at Wamuran.
Absolutely love it. Okay, so Daniel said you could sell advertising, as we said before, in the inserts. You remember that comment that Daniel made?
Yep.
But what I was thinking is that the base unit has a little slot that you can then slide in something. It could be the ABCs, it could be numbers, it could be leopard prints, Aboriginal designs, flowers, whatever. Those inserts could be sold for $5 or $10. So instead of having specific prints, you could then change the print of your handle depending on whether you want to keep your kid entertained or whether you want to look stylish in the supermarket.
Fabulous idea, Daniel.
Yeah, we love that idea. Thank you for it. That's excellent. Okay, so before we wrap up, Karen, do you have anything that you can particularly share? I know you've said the ask, just ask. Is there anything else that you've learned in the last 6 months or even more that you think, well, for someone who's starting out, who has an idea, I wish I knew this when I was starting out. Now I can pass it forward and really tell someone else this thing that will help them. Hey, Wendy, thanks for watching.
I think that I was very, very lucky to get into Turbo Traction Lab, and I have access to yourself and other mentors that I can message and ask. If you don't have a mentor, find someone who believes in what you're doing and ask them questions, and I'm sure they'll help you find the answer. But honestly, if I hadn't have gone into Turbo Traction Lab, I wouldn't be here. I would not, 100% would not be here. And Daniel scared the bejesus out of me. Push. He pushed so hard that I cried often, as he knows. But that's what I needed. I needed a good kick in the pants and just keep push. And now I'm quite comfortable going and asking people things. I don't care if they say no. I'll just keep asking. So thank you, Daniel.
Oh, that's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Wendy says, I'm ordering my love handles now. Karen, I love your ideas. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't forget to pick a colour. Tell me what colour you like. Yep.
Pick a colour. What's your favourite colour, Karen? Which Karen?
Teal.
Teal. The teal is Karen's favourite. I think I like the hot pink. Yes. Statement. Okay. So I think you mentioned something that's really, really interesting. In fact, we had Dr. Sarah Pearson here a couple of weeks ago at the Smart Hub, and she made a comment that I think rings true, which is if you're a single person and you have an idea and you want to take this idea to market and build a big company around that idea, she said that is a great challenge. In fact, she said that is near impossible to do on your own. And I would absolutely agree with her. It's really tricky. And I think that's what you're alluding to as well, Karen. When you're alone and you're isolated and you have these great ideas, knowing how to bring those to market is extremely challenging. And that is why places like the Smart Hub exists. And that is why you can, and I'm hoping that if you have an idea and you're watching this live today, that like Karen, you will link into our community at the Smart Hub and allow us to help you along the journey, because that's what we're really passionate about. We're really passionate about people like Karen and other people who have ideas and then who have the drive and the perseverance to take those ideas to market and to grow along the way, because there's definitely no doubt that you have grown so much, Karen. You've just blossomed into this incredible entrepreneur, which makes me really, really, really happy to see. So good on you. Good on you.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to the Smart Hub, because like I said, if you weren't there, I wouldn't be here.
Oh, that is so, so, so lovely of you to say thank you. But if you weren't there, we wouldn't have anyone, we wouldn't have people to help, and we wouldn't be celebrating your success. So it's really the collaboration bit. It's both. We need both of the parties. So bottom line is, I think today, if you have an idea, ask, If you have an idea, go find a community.
Yes.
Find a mentor.
Yes.
Don't worry if you hear lots of no's. Keep asking.
Yeah, and you will get people who say, what a stupid idea. How ridiculous. You're just wanting to make money. Well, duh. Yes.
Yep, that's right.
But yeah, you've got to flick the ones who are rude and crude and because there's more people love it than hate it. And you just have to flick that. You can't sit and sob about it.
That's exactly.
And Daniel, I don't cry as much anymore.
Daniel's made you really tough. Maybe you can make him cry one day. That'll be
maybe.
Yeah, that'll be a 10 to the books. Yeah, I think Courtney said, yeah, find your tribe. That's exactly right. Find a group of people who will be on the journey with you, because let's face it, the world is full of negative naysayers, and there'll be, for every person who says yes, there'll be a couple of people who go, oh, why would you want to do that? Oh, that's not going to work. Oh, but the problem is blah, blah.
Yep.
But find the people who believe in you. And if you believe in yourself and what you want to do enough, then it will happen. And even if you don't, because did you have that sense of belief when in the first day of Turbo Traction Lab, Karen?
Oh, God, no. First day I was a mess. No. I went back to my hotel that night and drank solidly for a couple of hours. No. No.
So even if you don't believe in yourself yet, if you just have a good idea and you have the drive to make something happen, yeah, come and link in at the Smart Hub or find a different community that will support you and help you find that sense of belief and help you see how amazing you really are. Karen Lindsay, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And congratulations again.
Thanks.
We'll speak to you again at our next Hub Live next Thursday at 1 o'clock. We look forward to seeing you then.
Bye.